Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a Recon the Role-Playing Game story, and I'm titling this one Public Enemies, because for a while there, we was. I was playing in my friend Earl's game, along with my friends Bobby, Larry, Kevin, and Randy. They're all excellent gamers, and they're smart, and they're just so much fun to play these games with. We'd left Vietnam, our characters had left Vietnam, and had become mercenaries, and we'd been pretty successful. We'd went on some missions, we'd done some things, and had a decent reputation. We'd went to a South African country on a job and had assassinated a warlord. This warlord was, according to the people that hired us, he was threatening peace in the region, and he was a vile, despicable so-and-so, and they offered us a bundle of money to do the job. And, you know, we thought we were doing a good thing. As soon as he was dead, all hell broke loose. Evidently, the people who hired us to finish him were his competitors. The warlord was on the payroll of a number of agencies, including MI6, the CIA, Mossad, and the KGB. And they was pissed. They did not like that we had killed their dude. We escaped the warlord's compound and were headed to Johannesburg to leave the continent when a number of Israeli helicopter gunships found us and began firing missiles and chain guns at us. We were in this rickety little truck. It was a good running truck, but it was not armored. It didn't have any guns on it. It was designed, we chose it and fixed it up because it looked like any of the local vehicles, and the idea was we were going to blend in while we made our getaway. We didn't want to draw attention. Well, that did not work. Bobby was driving, and he did his best to avoid their fire. His character is an excellent driver, so, you know. The rest of us, you know, we from the windows in the back, we returned fire. We ended up going over a cliff into a river. We made our way to the coast. We swam free, and as far as we knew, the gunships thought we'd died. We made our way to the coast, and we paid a smuggler to take us to Sao Paulo, Brazil. We tried to get tickets to fly to America, but at the airport, a CIA hit team tried to kill us. We killed 2 of them and escaped. And yeah, they was determined little so-and-sos. We made our way to Rio de Janeiro, and we bought passage to Sierra Leone, where we hung out in the slums for a month. Yeah, we figured if that doesn't lose them, I don't know what will. Because you can lose yourself in slums in Sierra Leone for forever. It was there that we found out that there was a $100,000 reward for each of us. Now keep in mind, this is 1975. So, you know, $100,000 is a lot of money. You may as well have made it $1 million or more. And that's for each of us, not for the group, for each of us. We ended up, some of the locals got wind of it, and we ended up having to run away. We fled Sierra Leone to Tunis, where we got work on a fishing boat headed for Naples. As we sailed into the harbor, a U.S. submarine surfaced and began firing on the boat. We went overboard and swam to shore, where we watched the fishing boat go down. Yeah. In Italy, we learned that our bank accounts were frozen. We had no access to our money. We had to make contact with the Italian mafia and work out a deal with them to smuggle us to France. We had to work for them for 2 months to pay that off. I mean, it's going to sound bad, but enforcement tactics are not as bad as murdering people. So, yeah. Anyway, we didn't kill people, but we did other things. We got off the boat in Marseille, where we got jobs driving trucks, and we made our way to Paris. Larry and Randy both had contacts in Paris, and they put us in a safe house where we could figure things out. Kevin had a contact in the CIA. He was able to arrange a job for us to do in exchange for clearing our names. The job entailed us flying to Stockholm. In mid-flight, an explosive device disabled the aircraft, and we went down in the Baltic. Luckily, we were picked up by a trawler and taken to Copenhagen. There, we were able to get passage to Stockholm. Once in Stockholm, we eliminated a criminal group, which was the job we had to do for the CIA, and our bank accounts suddenly became available. Yay! Unfortunately, when we accessed our accounts, the KGB was notified, and they sent a strike team to kill us. The KGB aren't nice like the CIA. The CIA can be mean. The KGB have to work to be nice. We had a running gun battle from the hotel to the docks. We boarded the boat and immediately went over the side and swam back to shore. We melded back into the city as that boat exploded. Yeah, you got to stay one step ahead of the KGB, because if they know where you're headed, you don't want to go there. We traveled by car. We ended up buying a car secondhand with cash. We traveled by car to Orebro, where we chartered a plane back to Copenhagen. There, we chartered another plane to Rotterdam. In Rotterdam, we chartered a boat to London. MI6 apparently got wind of that. When we arrived in town, the SAS showed up and tried to kill us. And if you don't know what the SAS is, it's the Special Air Service. It is essentially British Green Berets. They're military special forces. And MI6 sent them to kill us. We were able to lose them in Chelsea, and we made our way to Heathrow, where Kevin's CIA contact arranged to smuggle us out on a flight to Reykjavik. From there, we caught a chartered boat to Cartwright on the Labrador coast. We chartered another boat to Port Oshoy in Newfoundland. From there, we chartered a plane to North Sydney, Nova Scotia. Then we chartered a boat to Boston. We made it back to America. Amen. When we stepped off the boat in Boston Harbor, we were arrested and charged with espionage. Turns out the warlord was a CIA operative, and Kevin's contact got a big reward and a promotion for bringing us in. Sometimes in these games, you cannot freaking win. You just can't win. Yeah, the characters ended up being put in prison, and they never made it out alive. They were killed in prison because they apparently knew too much about something. God knows what they knew, but there you go. When you're sitting in a jail cell and 3 guys show up with submachine guns, it's kind of hard to avoid that. So yeah, we died in prison. I love Earl to death, but sometimes he makes his games a little hard. Anyway, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your social media platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including a political fantasy called The Righteous President. What happens when you elect a president who actually tries to fix things? Yeah, we're kind of going through that now, but I wrote this long before President Trump was elected. As a matter of fact, if you read the postscript, there's a post. The last chapter is a postscript as to why I wrote the book. And at the end of that, there's a postscript about President Trump being elected. Amen. So anyway, if you enjoy my my channel and my stories here, check out my books. I guarantee you they're not like anything you've ever read. My books are quirky and weird. And when I was writing The House Off Farrago Road, my boss would come through the gate in the morning, and he'd ask me what I was writing, and I would tell him, and he would give me this weird look and ask what I was drinking or smoking and why wasn't I sharing. I gotta love Dave. He's awesome. All right. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.